on then. Boosh. Hello. So, I don't know about you guys, but I have all this fabric and I really wanted somewhere to put it because it's everywhere. It's in boxes, it's under desks. I bought this and filled the drawers up with fabric and it just wasn't enough. So I need to think of a new way of storing fabric, or I'm just gonna have to store boxes underneath this desk, which I don't like the sound of because then you're having to lift the boxes off, rake through them, put them back, the lids back on and put them back on. Drawers are better. I have seen people though using foam board and then wrapping the fabric around the foam board and pinning it kind of like this. So they've got the foam board, they wrap it around like this, and then they pin it and then they stick it on shelves so it's like a bookcase really. And it's quite a good idea, but I'm not sure if that would work here. Also, I'd have to have a bookcase shelf type of thing. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I've got too much fabric. But, you know, I did film a bit last week, no, the week before, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know the news. But 2 weeks ago, I went to Edinburgh. It was a good time. I didn't get to go around Edinburgh as much as I probably would have liked to. It would have been really cool to take photos and things of hats in Edinburgh, but I didn't have time. But what I did have time for, hold on, I feel like I'm making myself out of breath from talking too much, was I did this, which might not look like much, but I made this from start to finish, all by myself. Well, not really all by myself, I got help. So I went down to Edinburgh to learn how to block hats, and I had a really good time. I have always said since I started doing hats that I'd love to be able to make them from scratch myself. That was always my goal. And I think we've got to the point now with the business that I'm making enough money that I could send myself away on a course to go and do this. So lots of things I learned, but I did get to use stiffener and hat blocks to shape them and hat pins. I even did some sewing and putting wire in, as well as making this band around here, and it was very good. I enjoyed myself and came out with a beautiful head. What do you think, guys? I think it's really cute. before I forget, I've got something to ask you guys. Some of you are messaging me and leaving comments saying that you, well, are asking even if I sell my designs because you're interested in buying them. Currently, no. It's a bit of a weird thing. I don't know if I want to be selling my designs for other people to be making hats and selling them, or if you guys are just asking because you want to create your own hat for yourself, or maybe even a loved one, that might be okay, but I'm not sure. So I have thought about possibly having Patreon where you could join and I would give out new designs every month, but it's still in the kind of, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I would need you guys to kind of tell me what you want, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So let me know what you guys want. Are you interested in buying my designs to sell them yourself? Are you interested in just being able to create pretty hats for yourself? Or would you be interested in Patreon, something like that? So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. So it's not going to be long before these hats end up in the shop for the spring collection. I keep looking at this one. It was on the wall and I kept looking and looking and looking at it, and I thought it needs more. I want to fill in the little gaps, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add leaves to it and just fill it out a bit more so it's a really full brim. I think that'll look really nice, and then it's finished along with this one. So next week we've got some cool stuff coming up. We are going to test out textured paint on a hat. Now there are lots of artists out there that already do things like this. We're not copying their designs at all, and I don't think I'm going to be selling these in the shop. I just want to practice and have a little go and see if we can do it, if it's something that can stick to a hat, because in my head it cracks. You know, you've got textured paint on there, it cracks, but I do know that the consistency and stuff will depend on that. So yeah, I feel like I'm blabbering on a little bit here, but next week we're going to test out textured paint. Then we're going to do another burned hat, maybe even 2 next month, so that we can catch up and do the spring collection at the end of the month for the shop update, the end of March. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm quite excited as always. I really want to get stuck in and do stuff, but this month we sold 28 hats, so I've been working really hard on those, and I feel like I'm playing catch up a little bit with things, especially admin things, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So as always guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. So make sure to hit the like button, because that tells YouTube you want to see more of these videos. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. But as always, I'm not forcing you. So thanks for coming and hanging out. I'll see you next week. I almost forgot to show you guys what I made at the start of the video. I made a draft excluder. Which looks like I found it somewhere and it's really old, like I found it in an old smelly house or something. But I didn't, I made it. These were curtains from a house that was vintage, and it doesn't smell, it's lovely and clean. But here you go. Really big draft excluder. Man, I'm so cool.